What do you need to know about uranium? Well, taking a look at this fact sheet, we can understand uranium in private well water from the Connecticut Department of Health. So what is important to know is uranium is a metal that has no smell or taste, and it is a naturally present in bedrock in many places throughout CT. And when a drinking water well is drilled into bedrock containing uranium, the uranium can get into well water. And we know that these are private wells in locations across CT with high levels of uranium. And the only way to find out if your well has high uranium is simply to test it. And they recommend that homeowners do test their private wells at least once for uranium. And the fact sheet provides homeowners with the information about health effects on uranium, how to test for it, and what to do if your well water has high levels of uranium. So first of all, what is natural uranium? This is an element that has been in rocks since the Earth was formed, and not all rocks contain uranium, but there are some places in the world where uranium is in the bedrock. And other related elements may be found in association with uranium are radium, radon, and these are elements that form a part of a sequence formed through a transformation of decay process that begins with the most prevalent form of natural unprocessed uranium. And U-238 is not radioactive enough to be useful in nuclear power plants or weapons. In fact, enriched uranium is used in power plants and needs to have the most of U-238 taken out. Is there uranium in my well water? Well, uranium occurs naturally in some Connecticut bedrock groundwater. Therefore, deep bedrock wells are susceptible to contamination. Shallow wells that do not reach bedrock are less susceptible to uranium contamination. Wells with high levels of uranium have been found sporadically all around Connecticut. Uranium gets into well water from bedrock that contaminates uranium, and the amount of uranium in bedrock and well water will vary greatly from place to place without testing. It is not possible to determine if the water can be considered safe for drinking. So how can uranium affect my health? Well, the chemical properties of uranium in drinking water are of great concern than its radioactivity. Most ingested uranium is eliminated from the body. However, a small amount is absorbed and carried through the bloodstream. And studies show that drinking water with elevated levels of uranium can affect the kidneys over time. Bathing, showering with water that contains uranium is not a health concern. So how can I make sure my well is safe for drinking? Well, uranium testing should be your first step, and based on your results, you should either install a treatment system or do some additional testing to find out if you have uranium in your drinking water. And the Department of Health maintains a list of state-certified labs and ones that you can take a look at. Radium is also another occurring metal that can contaminate well water and sometimes associated with uranium problems as well. So, when should I test my well for uranium? You should do that when you buy a house or well, or when a new well is drilled, and it is possible for uranium levels in well water to fluctuate. Even so, if one test shows no uranium problems. Also, water treatment for uranium can be the point of use. Water treatment devices that treat water at just one faucet. So that is some of the basics of uranium in private well water to know and to get acquainted with. And this is going to be effective in making sure that your well is safe. But as we said, the only way to know for sure is to test your water.